Yesterday I went 6 of 8 on my cheat sheet. There's a little 6-2 run for you. Today I get a breather on the NBA slate. There's only 2 games we got to worry about. They start at 4 o'clock PST. I've learned a bit more about how to provide the best content in probably the shortest videos I can do possible, and I've been enhancing my workflow. It's not easy to upload these videos every day, guys, while you're working full time. But to put this into context, within the final few weeks of the NBA season, we have back-to-back 15 game slates. Like, that's crazy. It forces me to spend more hours analyzing data on dozens of players, teams, matchups, and everything. A lot of research. And that's before I even record, edit, render, or upload. I'm not charging you guys any money. All I ask is that you continue to support, like the video, share, and subscribe. With all that said, I want to cover today's picks and make this short. For the first game, we have Sac at Detroit. Detroit slightly favored. And then for game 2, we have Philly at Miami. Miami is slightly favored. Miami needs to win more than Philly does. But the problem with that is Miami's rotations today are all questionable. So Hero, Wiggins, and Highsmith being questionable means their guard rotation is up in the air. So the only thing that I can base my pick off of today is going to be that Quentin Grimes for Philadelphia is their offensive player. So I'm going to be covering his points. That's what I'm going to be picking for this game. Pretty much all I have on this, because I don't know if Bam is even going to be playing. If he does play, you'd probably want to take maybe their first half or full game PRA. Hopefully they have good lines there, but today is really a play light day. A lot of folks honestly are going to fade NBA altogether, and that's fine too. As for the Sac and Detroit game, I want to target DeRozan and Sabonis for Sacramento. Jalen Duren is questionable also. So for me, I'm going to be targeting Cunningham. I like usually his assists have been looking pretty good. I'm going to fade Hardaway, and I'm not going to mess with Ausar Thompson today because of how he burned me last week. One final note is that Sacramento does need to win this game. They are on a 2-game win streak, going up against a difficult defense in Detroit. But again, injuries are going to be playing a factor, and those questionable tags on most of these players make it very difficult to select players. So again, play light. Can't say that enough. First pick I have for you guys today is going to be DeMar DeRozan. I like his 3.5 3-point attempts. You can also look into his field goals attempted as well. Second pick, I like Sabonis for his PRA, but because it's so close to his fantasy score, and he has been cashing on his fantasy score regardless of how many turnovers he has, I'm going to be going with the 43 fantasy score. His PRA was bumped up from 37 all the way up to 38, so I'm leaning on his fantasy score instead. He usually does get blocks and steals against Detroit, so I'm going to be covering that when I review the picks. And like I said, I'm targeting Quentin Grimes on 22.5 points today, as well as Cade Cunningham on his assist. You can pick your poison. You can take him on 8 assists, which is the OG line. I also do like that, but I'm going to be leaning on the Goblin today, all the way down to just 6.5, because then all he needs to do is get 7. And we are losing a little bit of value here by taking the Goblin, but I'm playing late today. So I'm just going to lock in these 4 picks flexed. I'll do 12.44 on it for the sake of the video. Probably going to be the only slip I rock with today, in all honesty, but if I do make any more, they're going to be in my Discord. Those are the only 4 I have so far today. You just saw me lock them in, so I'm going to cover them. DeMar DeRozan's got a good history exceeding that at 5 of 6 on the road. That's 83% in the last 6 games. Sabonis, his PRA wasn't looking too good, but he's back from injury, so recently he's been cashing it at a very high clip. He had 7 turnovers in the last game, guys, against Cleveland, and his defense still cashed his fantasy against that team. That's about as much turnovers, or as many turnovers, as you're going to see a player get. That's a lot of turnovers, guys. And you lose 1 fantasy score for each turnover, yet he still cashed his very high line all the way up to 47.3. So it's pretty promising for me. I like his fantasy at 43. I'm going to take that one. And then again, Cunningham on assists. This is his last 20 with no context. it's going to be just home games, and he's cashed it. Without being at home, he's still 15 of 20, which is 75%. At home, he's 80%. This is last 20. If you want to look at head-to-head, there's only one game this season that he's played against Sac, and it was Sac at home. He had 10 assists, which is why I like his line even all the way up to the OG line at 8. The recent history, even at 8, is still green. He's actually 70% in the last 20 games on that, which is 14 of 20. So another good pick if you guys want to take that. Again, I'm taking the Goblin, so that's what I'm rocking with today, just to be on the safer side of things by playing light. And Quentin Grimes, due to all the injuries on Philly, he is their only offensive threat for Philadelphia. So head-to-head doesn't look too hot on the points. They played earlier in March, and he did not cash, but I'm not concerned about it because, like I said, the Miami Heat offensive rotation in the backcourt is really up in the air today. So when things are in question, the only thing that you can rely on is if somebody who gets buckets is going to go out there and get buckets. And that's what Quentin Grimes does for Philadelphia. So that's what I'm going to count on him to do today. If they have any alternative lines, the lowest one on PrizePicks that you're going to see is 17.5 points. And it doesn't really change much because in the last 20, he's been, as I said, their only offensive threat. Either way, I see him cashing these point lines. He might go out there and get 30. He might go out there and get 25. Who knows? But it's still going to be higher than 22.5. I can see him getting that. So that's going to cover the 4 picks for today, guys. In closing, hopefully you learned something in all my videos. You don't want to wait for any videos or miss out on anything. The link to my Discord's in the description. Again, I appreciate all the support. Thank you guys for watching. Like the damn video, subscribe, and again, click the bell for post alerts and notifications. Good luck. Don't be a degen. Always put God first. And bye for now.